Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, gifted crafters. Welcome to another Saturday Crafternoon. Hey, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope you had an exciting week. I know I had a pretty busy one. So if you're new to the channel and you've never seen a live before, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I host weekly live sessions to talk about all things crafting, from sewing, knitting, crocheting, embroidery, decoupage, any kind of craft. We like to cover it here. We like to share tips and tricks and all kinds of ideas and interact with our fellow crafters. So we really have a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy yourselves, and you're welcome to come back every Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time, which is where I try to never miss a live. Wow, so I see a lot of people on the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed the trivia. We tried to make it a little easier for you guys this time, but remember, the questions will keep on coming. We do about 4 questions every week, and at the end of March, we're going to be looking to see who our little trivia master is, and then at the end of the year we'll tally up all of the points to reveal who our trivia champion is. And if you recall, Robin Shiver was our trivia champion for 2022. So we're now looking to see who's going to be our trivia champion for 2023. So Robin still has all those bragging rights that she's got to, you know, play around with. And I see she's on the chat. So let's say hello to some of our friends out there. So I see a couple new people, and I see Robins multiplying. I don't know what's going on. Everyone decided to name their child Robin. I must have missed the memo. Let's see. I see Baydell. I see Boricua Sewing and Craft. Christine Ashley, Crafting with Robin. Hey guys, how are you doing? I see Jackie Hallman, Judy Bauer, Marian Allison, 1 Minute Tips. I see Robin Bierman, Robin Shiver, and Yvonne Hudson. And you guys, Yvonne Hudson won our last little gift that we sent to her. And I saw on, I kind of looked up the tracking to make sure that you received it. It said that it was delivered. So I hope that you enjoy the little hat that we made. And that was on another live where we made some stuff online, and we decided to give it away because you just never know what's going to happen on GiftsHQ. I like to give things away. It's just who I am. So I'm so glad that you guys can join. And let's see, we've got a few things to talk about today. So if you didn't join last week, on last week's live, it was live number 29. And we covered a couple of things. We did a couple of hauls from Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and the Dollar Tree. And one of the things that I did show were some of the items that they were like rick-rack items that I purchased from the dollar store, and it actually helped me out on one of the projects that I'm going to show you I worked on today. It's kind of a little prototype that I was working on, and I kind of finished it up last night really quick just to kind of give you an idea of what you can do. I do kind of want to redo it a little bit better, but I don't want to go ahead and show that to you today. And I was able to use some of those little rick-rack materials that I got from the dollar store, so you can see how I used it and how it can help you with some of your projects. Some of the other things we looked at was, of course, some yarn. And there were some 3 hanks, and let me just grab that here. Let's see. I did show these 3 hanks that I had purchased. Now, these are all Yarn B, and these are all a number 1 weight and a number 2 weighted yarn. And I have my video that I put together, and it's out there, and it's on the Yarn Swift and the Yarn Winder. So these things are now ready to go for me to go ahead and put on my Swift, and I can put it on the ball and then make a project with this. So I'm really excited. Aren't these colors really yummy? I think these are super, super pretty. This one has a little bit of metallic on it. So it has a little bit of shimmer. I'm not sure if the camera really does it a little justice here. You can't really see the shine so much, I think. I'm not sure if you can or not. but it has a little bit of that shimmer, and I really, really love it. And then the other two do not have the metallic on it, but I think there were some really pretty colors, and I think I can make something really nice with that. So I was excited about that, and now that my Swift and my yarn winder are all set up, I'm going to be getting that video out to you guys. I'm sorry, that video was already out to you guys, but I have another video that's going to be coming out to you guys this week, so I hope you guys enjoy that one. So let me see what else I had here. Now, some of the other things that we looked at was the Hat Wonders by the Sesame Street, and this is Lion Brand. I really fell in love with this stuff. I think I showed you guys I went a little crazy with that. I went ahead and completed all of them, but these were some of the ones that, you know, I showed last week. I did post on Facebook and on the community site. They're having a deal on them. So I know I paid pretty much full price on these, but they're now on sale. So if you're still interested on making some of these, like maybe for your grandkids or something, you know, you may want to check out the deal. I did post it again on the community, and I also did it on the Facebook page. These are called One Hat Wonders, and they're from Lion Brand. So they have all the different characters for Sesame Street, and I just thought they were super cute. So I went ahead and did them. We talked about some ideas and things that you can do with these, and I'll show you the completed ones that I finished up in just a minute. So let's see. I also talked about my Addy 22 that was fairly new. I did break one of the needles, but good news, guys, we have now fixed it. So I'm excited because now my Addy machine is good to go, and I've been using it. So I was really happy about that. So what do we have in store for you this week? Well, I have a couple of things I want to show you. First thing I want to do is start off with something that I ordered, and I kind of just ordered some little things just to try them out. Now, I know Crafting with Robin, she's in the chat. She did a video on Temu, and I had also ordered from Temu, and I was waiting for it to come in, and I just wanted to kind of test them out and see, you know, the quality of their products and things like that. So I didn't order anything major, just little knickknacks that I wanted to kind of test out. So I just want to show you what I got and, you know, talk about the quality of them here. So let me just get this out. Let's see. Got a few things. Now, again, nothing major, just little minor stuff. I just wanted to test out, you know, how long will it actually take for it to get here and things like that. So one of the first things I got, it's a gray hand towel, and I got these because I thought maybe I could embroider some of this. So let me just get it out of this package. So I apologize for all the noise on this, but I just need to get it out here. So this is one of them. It's a little gray towel. It's got the embroidered little cat on here, has the little hook for you to hang it, you know, just for the kiddos. You know, I like the edging that it has. I think it's well made. It's not bad quality. My thought on this was I could just kind of put someone's name on the bottom, or just add a little extra design, you know, and give it as a gift to someone. They had different ones. I mean, it's not like really like thick towel. It's pretty thin, but I thought that, you know, for what it is, it's not too bad. You know, and the timing on the shipping and everything really wasn't that bad either. So, you know, so far I ordered from them, doesn't seem too bad, but I didn't order anything major or expensive. These were all like really relatively very low priced. So I just wanted to kind of get a feel for it. This, you can just hang it in the bathroom. These are, you know, just little cloths for them to take their baths, or you could even use it as a kitchen towel if you wanted to, but these are more like for baths and things like that for kids. So I thought it would be cute, you know, or if you can hang it for your decoration, if you have like your bathrooms set up with little kitty cats and things like that. So, so pretty cute. I got a couple of these because I thought I could give these out as gifts. So I did get a few of those. So let me get those out of the way. These are all kind of just repeated items. The other thing that I got, and this was kind of a, I didn't really read the print very well. I think I could have probably did a better job on this, but I did see one thing on here that I liked. Now this is just, it's like an embroidery pack. It came with the hoop, but what I was really interested in was the pins, and I'll show you that in just a second. So they have these little pins that you can put in your hair, like these. And they're cute. And then what they do is they kind of embroider a little flower-like item on top. So the embroidery, I mean, it's very sheer. This is what the embroidery would look like. I don't know if you guys will see that very well. Let me see if I can put this blue background on here. Maybe you could see it better. It's very, very thin. It's just a circle. You know, there's not really much to it. It's just a circle with some flowers on it. And what you do is you embroider it and then you add it to the pin. And so they would have this embroidery with the circle. And then you can kind of put it in your hair or stick it, you know. I mean, it was really cute, but I like the idea of the pin and being able to do an embroidery on it. And then you can kind of use it as a clip or something, you know. So I did get it. I was more interested in just getting the pin. Didn't realize it was really the pack, but it did come with everything that you need in order to get the project done. So it gave you the embroidery threads, which are not bad quality. I was pretty surprised on that. It gave you the actual print of the embroidered item that you would be, you know, sewing on, and it did come with the plastic hoop. Not the best quality, but for what this little project is, it would be totally fine. So overall, it's not too bad. It did come with this little flower-like thing that you would put on top of the embroidery, so it's like an added embellishment to kind of make it stand out. And then it also gave you the needles and a needle threader, which was pretty neat. So not too bad, just a little project, and that's something that, you know, you can kind of just take with you, do it on the go, you know, something, you know, sometimes you can't be at home, and so, you know, you have to sit and wait if you're going to a doctor's appointment or something like that, and you have to sit and wait. You know, I like to bring little projects like this because, you know, I get antsy and I hate waiting and become impatient, and this kind of helps with that. So that's what I do for these. The other item, again, these are just little knickknacks that I bought on here. Let me just see if I can get this open. So these are like little elastic thingies. I don't know the exact name, but these are like little pulleys. They're what you use when you are making, let's say, a purse, and you want to replace that. Sometimes, you know, your purses, those little things that you pull the zipper on, break off. So you can kind of replace it with this, or some people like to add on these things to the zippers. So, you know, sometimes the zippers are small, or, you know, they're in an awkward place. It's hard for you to pull it. So these are like little pulleys that will help with that. And I like to have these because they're just really good for projects where I'm making purses and bags and things like that. And I'm kind of really rough with my purses, so I kind of yank them sometimes, and sometimes I break them off. So these were pretty good to have, and it did come, I think it was a pack of 20 of these. And, you know, not bad quality. I was happy with this. I got that, but I also got some zipper pulls, and I was pretty happy with them. Let me grab a couple out so I can show you. So I did get these. They're like a metal. Again, just little metal pulleys that you would put onto your purse, or if you have any kind of project where you require some type of a hook, you know, these are pretty good. And these can get quite pricey at the big box stores. And sometimes, you know, you just need like one or two to do a project. I really don't want to spend that much money just getting a little pulley. So this is a pretty good place to go to get these types of things that, you know, would be relatively overpriced in these big box stores. And I got them pretty cheap, and they're things that you could definitely use. So definitely good to have. I'm just glad that I got them. Couple more things that I want to show you. These are more little Rick Racks. Again, we looked at the Rick Racks that I got from the dollar store, and then these I saw and I just thought they were pretty. So here's some flowers. I thought that would be really cute to add. You can embellish with this. Very, very cute. Love that one. Then I got these. These are like leaves. So this one, I got it. Well, it has a little rubber band. Let me take the rubber band off. I did get it, and I'm not sure about it. It's kind of like a, I don't know. I got this, but I'm not sure. It could look cute if you add it to something, right? But by itself, not so much. So maybe if I were to kind of put these together somehow, it would look good. But, you know, I was not really sold on it. And, you know, it's okay. The quality's okay. I wasn't too impressed with it. But, you know, I might be able to use it for something. So I'm going to put it in with the other embellishments that I have. I might be able to come up with something on this. Just not sure about it just yet. So I don't know if, I know Crafting with Robin did a video on the haul that she did for the Temu stuff. I don't know if anyone else has ordered from them and their experiences. Mine wasn't too bad. I didn't have any issues in terms of like having to deal with any returns or getting bad items or you know, that kind of thing. I pretty much got what I ordered, but I didn't, you know, I played it on the safe side. I didn't really want to spend money on it. You know, I'm very cautious with that stuff. And, you know, I wasn't sure on how the quality was going to be. So I didn't want to go too crazy getting things. So I, you know, just got little things here and there. So I don't know how you guys have done with them. Mine really was not too bad. So would I order from them again? Yeah, I probably would. But I'm not going to have any expectations on great quality stuff. You know, I think I will stick to just, you know, little knick-knack things and keep it at that. Let's see. This item, let's see if I can open it here. This was another kind of embroidery kit. It's just different. It's the same as the other one with the pin. It just had different color thread. So I got 2 of those. But, you know, same set, has a plastic hoop, has all that other stuff, you know, totally fine. Again, would I buy it again? Not sure. I'll have to see how it comes out once I do the actual project, and then we'll kind of see how it really goes. So that's the Temu stuff. I just wanted to show you that real quick. You know, I thought, you know, it was something you can try them out, see how it works, just be cautious. And let me just stick this to the side. Again, apologize for the noise on this. Let me just stick these in here. I'll fix it up later. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, let me just check in the chat really quick and see what's going on. Is this Temu place expensive? No, it's pretty inexpensive. I wouldn't rely on quality type stuff coming out of there so much. I mean, you can give it a try. Just, again, be very cautious. Let's see. Boricua Sewing and Crafts says, I'm going to go crazy and order some stuff to see if some of their blanks are good for embroidery. Yeah, I saw a couple of them, and that's why I got those little hand towel ones. It seems okay so far. Like, I didn't get anything major. They did have some of that stuff, but I didn't want my first order to be that kind of thing. Like, I wanted to wait, see how the shipping goes, see how long they took to ship, you know, and overall was not a bad experience, I have to say. But in terms of the quality, I'm still a little cautious. So, you know, don't go too crazy when you do your first order with them. You know, try them out first. Baby steps. Alrighty. So that was one thing that I wanted to show you guys. The other thing I've been kind of working on, we kind of rearranged my craft room here. Not sure if you noticed, I just kind of changed the furniture around to kind of give myself more space and make room for all the wonderful, yummy yarn that I've been kind of stashing. So I needed to kind of redo some of this stuff. And, you know, when you redo your room, you kind of find things that you forgot you had. So I did find a lot of that stuff, and it was kind of like, oh, I could have used this for a project, and, you know, didn't even know I had it. So, you know, it's good to stop every once in a while and kind of declutter your room, because that's how you see that you have stuff and you don't need to go to the store and buy more. So that's kind of putting a little bit of a stop to my stuff. Again, the other thing I did was finish the hat wonders. Let me just show you all of the ones that I finished, because I don't think I showed them all to you. So, of course, we got Bert and Ernie. And these were yummy. And I always forget her name. This one, it's Abby Cadabby. She's the cutie. And we've got Oscar the Grouch. Of course, we can't forget Big Bird. We had the Cookie Monster and Elmo. So all of these, you know, I mean, you love Sesame Street. I know I did as a kid, you know, but I think, you know, for those who have like grandkids and stuff, I mean, super, super cute. Love it. And remember, you don't have to make hats out of them. You're right. You can make them into a character, or like a little, I don't know what they call them, the little blankies that the kids carry around, or you can add the little arms and things like that and actually make it a little, you know, stuffed toy if you wanted to. So that's another idea. They do give you just enough yarn to go ahead and make the hat, but if you can find the matching yarn to add the additional pieces, if you needed more yarn to do so, you could. I just found the yarn, it's Lion brand, and I love that yarn. It works really well on the Addy and the Central machines, and it just stitched out like a dream. Like, I had no issues. I mean, if you guys can see, nothing. I mean, it was a really easy time making these. No drop stitches, nothing. I mean, it stitched out really, really well. So I was really happy. And for those of you who have like stores and you sell and stuff, these would be probably a big hit, especially for the kids. So I'm sure that a lot of people would love them. I know I do. I have a few people that I have in mind to give these to. So got them all done. And I was excited that I finished them all, because, you know, definitely thought that this was, oh no, I didn't want to have this sitting on my shelf as another project that I did not finish. I got them done, and they're going to be going out to a few of my friends. So definitely got that out of the way. Alrighty. The other item that I wanted to show you, as I was making other projects, I did use my Addy 22, which is now fixed. So you can see now it's running nice and smooth, no broken needles. It's all good now. It was really simple to fix it. I did the little video on how I fixed it. That's going to be coming out soon for you guys. So check that out. I'll post it when I release it, and you'll see it out in YouTube. But one thing that I did order, and I kind of had it to the side, didn't have time to try it out. So one difference between the Centro and the Addy is that the Centro has a tension guide off to the side, and you can stick the yarn into the 3 little holes, and it's, you know, large, medium, and small, where it guides the tension on there. The Addy machine has the holder on here. It's the yarn holder. It'll hold your yarn. It does have a small hole on the bottom that is to help with the tension, but in reality, it's really you holding the yarn and guiding that tension. So what Addy has done now is they come up with these little plastic adapters, and they're really small. So this is what it looks like. Very, very inexpensive. It was only like maybe a couple dollars. But what you do with that is you just slide it inside of the yarn gauge, and then it has 3 slots, small, medium, and large, where you can put your yarn and it'll help with the tension. So I went ahead and I got it and I tried it out. And does it work? Yeah, it does. Couple things I didn't like about it. When you put that in here, it kind of obstructs your view on the counter. And I kind of found myself kind of shifting to see, well, where am I at? Because I couldn't really see the counter because the tension was there. So I didn't like that. But I understand that's the only place they could have put it. So, you know, I guess, you know, don't really have too much of a choice there. So did it work? Yeah, I did put it on I believe I used the second hole, the medium one. It did work and it did help, but I guess I'm kind of old school. I'd like to actually hold my yarn and feel it going through my fingers, and I kind of just know if I feel that tension, I have a knot or something's holding up the yarn, and that's what could distort your project. So I prefer to kind of use my hands to judge the tension on this. It just gives me, I guess, a little bit more of a feel of how my project is going. But they do work well. You know, they work as expected. They do the job. I'm just really not a fan of not being able to see my counter, and I prefer to hold my own yarn. But I wanted to let you guys know these are out there. They are super inexpensive. Got them on Amazon. Not really much to it. You just slide it on to your machine and you're good to go. So just a little tip on that one. If you have the Centro machine, you don't need it because the Centro does have that tension guide already built into the machine. So that's the difference between the two. So, you know, kind of take that. Let's see. The next item I wanted to tell you guys about. Let's see. Let me just tell you about, there's 2 events that are going on. There's a Sewing and Quilting Expo in Lakeland, Florida, from March 16th to March 18th. And you can get more information at sewingexpo.com. That's going to be going on. I am super tempted to go there on those days. I do have something going on around that time, so not too sure about it. But this is in Lakeland, Florida. They have other locations. So I know, you know, for those of you who are not in the Florida area, they had Atlanta. They had a bunch of other locations. I think Atlanta was March 9th through the 11th. But if you go to sewingexpo.com, they've got all the different locations and events going on. So you may want to check it out. I don't know if anyone is interested on those. So definitely, you know, that's a place where you can go to get a little resource to find out, you know, what's in your area. Okay, let's get to the little project that I was working on. I'm going to clear this over and I'm going to show you guys what my little prototype looks like. And let me just set it down here. Trying to make some space so I can slide stuff over, because my little Sesame Street gang needs to move over. Okay, so for this project, I used 2 sets of yarn, actually 3 sets of yarn. One is completely gone. It used the entire scheme. This was the I Love This Yarn. This is it's 100% acrylic, and it was a number 4, so worsted weight yarn, and it's got some speckles on it. I think I've showed this yarn to you guys before, and I was able to use the entire scheme for the project. I also added some embellishments to my project, and for that I used the Red Heart Super Saver. It's also a number 4 yarn, and this one is, let's see, where are you? Here you go, 100% acrylic. And then for a really tiny amount, I really didn't need a lot, but this is what I had on hand, so I just took a little bit from here. This is also number 4 weighted yarn. This is by Yarn Lane, and it's impeccable. So these are the colors that I use. The name of the color is, let's see, what is the name? Butterscotch. So this is Butterscotch. And the Super Saver yarn color name is Rose. And then I used I Love This Yarn, and the name of that color that I use is called Crushed Raspberry. Yep. And this is what I made. It's just a little prototype. It's not, you know, exactly the way I wanted it to come out. But I did make a little pillow that I knitted with the, I used the Addy machine on this one. This was the Addy 46 pin needle machine, and then I used the Addy 22 pin needle machine to make the little flower. So you can see, you know, it really doesn't take a lot. And I did have this on hand, so I was just using colors that I had. You can use any color that you want. And I just put the little flower together, and then I kind of just knitted it and tied it onto the actual pillow. And the pillow itself, I mean, was pretty easy. This is the I Love This yarn with the little, it was crushed raspberry color, and it has like these little speckles on it. Let me just bring it up for you guys so you could see that a little bit closer. So you can see the little speckles. I thought it was really cute. And I thought, you know, this would make a really cute project. So I wasn't sure how to go about doing it. So what I did for this project is I did a panel. So I know for the circular knitting machines, it's very easy to just whip up the tube, and I probably could have just done the tube and then just cinched the sides, but I decided to try out the panel because I wanted to see how that worked. Had a couple of failures in the beginning. I had a lot of drop stitches in my very first row of the panel, but I think it was tension related. When you're doing panels, and I guess I'll have to put something together to show you guys exactly what I mean, but when you're working on panels on these circular knitting machines, tension is key, especially when you're coming to the ends. You do have to pull that tension pretty tight to make sure that your needle is capturing the yarn so that your edges come out straight. So I had a lot of issues where it kept dropping it, and then I had to kind of go back and fix it, because there is a way to fix it. You don't have to rip out the whole entire project and start all over again. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. I did too in the very beginning. It's a little annoying when you're like almost done with your project and then you start seeing drop stitches. But what you can do, there are things that you can do to fix that. And they're just little, a crochet hook, and you know, just little tools that you can use to help fix that, whether it's still on the machine or off the machine. There's kind of 2 different ways to do it, but I was able to play with it a little bit. You know, it's not perfect in any way, but I wanted to kind of put this together just to kind of get a feel for, you know, what it would take for me to get this done. So I went ahead and knitted this. It took about let's see, it's 2 different panels, and I think there were about 120 rows, 120 rows. I know for the second one, I kind of ran out of yarn. So I kind of had to stretch a little bit, and it wasn't like a big super saver scheme that I had. The I Love This yarn only had, let's see, it has 252 yards of the yarn. So it wasn't exactly, you know, the best scheme to use. I probably should have used a larger one, but I did like the colors on this and I wanted to see kind of how it came out. I knew this was just going to be for me, so, you know, I wasn't too crazy about, you know, having to be perfect on this. I just wanted to try it out. But I was able to whip up the 2 panels. I did a mattress stitch to then cinch the sides and join the 2 panels together. And then what I did for the flower was I used my 46 Addy machine for the outside petals. And then for the inside, I used my Addy 22 machine. And this was pretty easy. I do have some polyfill in here for the flower so that it kind of just pops up. And I did kind of cinch in some of the sides to kind of give it that shape of the flower. So you see how I kind of bring that in, and then all I did was just kind of attach it to the bottom and did a couple of stitches here and there just to attach it to the actual pillow. So, you know, that's how this came out. Now, not the best, but, you know, I think it was okay for, you know, what it is. I mean, for my first time, not too bad. You know, definitely we'll keep trying on this and kind of perfecting it a little bit more. But I think, you know, for it just being me, for me just putting it to the side, I don't mind how it came out. So let me know what you guys think about it. Any ideas on how I can kind of improve this. I did just put an existing pillow that I had inside, and I'm thinking of doing kind of like an envelope type pillow, or maybe have like a little button on it, something like that, to just kind of, you know, make it a little bit different. I just wanted to try the flower because I've seen the flower out on Pinterest. A few people were making flowers and they put them on little stems and put on vases. So they have like a little arrangement of flowers made out of yarn. I thought that was super cute. So I might play around with that a little bit too. I thought that was really neat. I wanted to try one on the pillow itself. So I think it came out cute. It's not too bad. You know, got some little errors here and there, but you know, I'm not too worried about it. So let me just see. Got a lot of activity going on in that chat. Robin said that's adorable. Crafty with Robin says that's cute. Wow. Okay, 1 minute tip says, when I was researching, I found people complaining about getting bad machines. Return and get another one. I know I was worried when I got mine. I got lucky. Yeah, I have seen that too. I think, you know, especially places like Amazon, they kind of commingle things. And so sometimes people return the machines because they broke it or whatever it is, and they accept the return, and then someone goes and they buys it and then they send them that machine. So it's like they kind of commingle things. So you really have to check when you get the machine. I have a feeling that my Addy 22 was probably in that category, but you know, it's not too bad. And I was able to fix the pin that I broke, if you remember, was this white pin. I think it was number 14, if I remember right, but it was easily replaced, and they do give you extra pins. So, you know, I was able to do it, but somebody who is a little reluctant, you know, on doing things like that, you know, they may just give up the machine and just return it, or not even bother with it. So, you know, it's a little bit, you know, of a preference, you know, but when you get the machines, check them out. If they're not flowing freely, if this is not turning easily, send it back, because something's wrong with it, unless you want to go ahead and try to fix it yourself. So it's you know, matter of preference, but definitely check the pins, check you know, the flow. Now mine flows completely fine now. So I don't know if it was, I know I kind of forced one of my projects and I probably broke that pin myself, but I think there was something going on prior to that. But it's fine now and I'm happy with it and I'm able to just move forward with it. So I'm good. Alrighty, let me see a couple people out there. Oh, I see Evelyn. Hey, Evelyn, how are you? Oh, you're late. No problem. Taisha Banks, hey, how are you? Returned items are sold as refurbished or used. They should be, yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes I think that, you know, they kind of commingle stuff. So you gotta check. You really have to check. Don't trust them. Hey, Annette, how are you? I just go on. I couldn't respond to all the questions. Oh, I couldn't answer. Finally got on. Oh, man. Well, don't worry, Annette, because, you know, you got next week. You got a couple more. And, you know, sometimes I double up the points and we change things around so anybody can take the lead. So don't worry about it. Alrighty, so let me see what else I had for you. What are the things that I'm starting to kind of dabble in? And let me put this over here. I'm starting to dabble in English paper piecing. And it's something that, you know, I've always loved to do. I have books on it. I've kind of tried it, but never really finished. And this time I'm determined I want to get this done. So what I did, I have my little container that I keep all my little tiny pieces in. So these little containers, you can get them at the dollar store. I just like to organize my like projects together. So what I have in here is the templates. Now I'm using these. Let me get one out here for you. This is a 1-inch diamond template. They're really tiny. So put them up here. It's what it looks like. So these diamond templates, I got a pack of 100. Now you can make these on, if you have a Cricut machine, you can make these on your Cricut machine. You can make any of the templates yourself, really, if you're good at freehand drawing. I'm not, so I don't have that, but I went ahead and bought these. And basically what you do with English paper piecing is you're wrapping fabric around it to make a specific design, and then you sew them together. Sometimes you can hand sew it, sometimes you can machine sew it. In this specific project, I'm hand sewing it because machine sewing it, I didn't like the outcome. So I didn't like that you could see the seam. So it just didn't look right for me. So I went ahead, you know, I got these, and here's a couple that I've done. I'm not sure about this fabric, but I liked, you know, just kind of the starting it off, and I wanted to kind of see how this works because I was really kind of testing out the glue. So what I did was I bought this, it's called Sew Line Fabric Glue Pen, and it comes with 3 refills for you. And all it is just, it's like a glue stick for paper piecing. So you'll see it here. You can see that I've kind of used it a lot. So let's see if I put this right. That's what it looks like. And you know, it has the little adjuster that you can move it up and down, and you put the little top in. It does come with, well, I bought it as like a pack, I think. I'm not sure if it comes with 1 refill, but I bought the pack with 3 refills. The refills are like this. And you just refill the pen. And what makes me excited about this thing, it just makes the English paper piecing so easy. So what you would do is basically after you've cut up your squares, I don't know if I have any more in this container. I think they're in another container, but I've cut up squares. And once I have it to the size, you know, I'll take them and I use the glue stick and I just glue the edges, and then I fold them over on the paper itself. So you end up with these tiny little pieces here, and you can make different designs with them, right? So what I've seen done for this one, like let's say here, if I wanted to kind of, let me move this over. If I kind of wanted to make something here, I could make, let's say, like the little cube that you've seen. And you can do these little cubes kind of and stack them up and then, you know, do a bunch of them, and you can kind of form your quilt with this. So this is one way of doing it. You can make a star. You can do whatever design you want, you know, and then use different different fabrics. Sometimes it's good to use these really dark colors, and then you have this really light background, or vice versa. You kind of do these contrasting colors to make things pop. Like I had this pink, purple, and yellow fabric, and I got these from the dollar store. So you guys know I love the dollar store. So the dollar store does sell fabrics, and they sell squares. These are 5" by 5". They're 100% cotton, and they come 21 pieces in the pack. So I went ahead and got a couple of these because I thought I could do a really fun little quilt with that. And you know, these are the colors. So you've got your pink, your orange, yellow, got some blues and greens, purples and grays. So, you know, really neat. They all have the same design. I was actually looking for just plain colors with no design on it. That's what I was thinking I wanted to use for this little project with the cube. But they didn't have any, so I thought, well, let me try this. And one thing that I noticed I have to be careful of when I'm putting this together is because it has a design on it, the little lines, I have to be careful where I do the placement, because if I want my cubes to kind of match in each area, I can't have the lines going one way and then on another cube going the other way. So I do have to be careful how I place it and glue it onto these squares, and how I put them down, you know, to be able to make the pattern that I'm doing, if you get what I mean. So it's, you know, just if you're using something with a design on it, just be mindful of that. You want to make sure, if you want your pattern to be consistent all the way around, you need to make sure that your lines are all going the same way. Otherwise, it's going to be distorted when you finally put it together. So that's just something that, you know, I'm playing with. I do have my design board that I'm just working with, and just making little things together. Don't know if it's going to be a star or a cube. You know, I'm just playing with different ideas. But these are the little diamond shapes. They are just 1 inch. So yes, they are super, super tiny. But I think that they're fun projects that you can do, especially if you're working with kids. You know, they love glue. So you got your little glue stick here, and this one is really good. It will stay. I've had this glued on to this paper for quite some time. It's been at least a couple of weeks, and it has not come off. And the idea is, once you have this all done and you're ready to, like, let's say, put it together. Let's say I wanted to, you know, go ahead and sew these. What I would do is hand sew them together, because you can machine sew it, but I prefer to hand sew it together. And then once you're done, you're going to take the pieces of paper off. You don't leave the paper in there. You take them off. And so you're left with the design, and then you can continue working on your block. And after you make so many blocks, you go ahead and quilt the whole thing together. So it is a lot of work. It's a project that is not a quick project. This is not something that you'll be done completing in, you know, a few minutes, but it's something that it's fun to do. You know, you can kind of do it on the side, kind of work on it when you have time. You know, if I am able to kind of cut some fabric into some pieces, and I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll put them all in the container. I have another container with some squares of different sizes, and once I have a nice big stack of specific sizes that I want, or even just the fabrics that I want, then I kind of put them all together and I say, okay, what can I quilt with this? And I kind of put the design together and then actually make some kind of a quilt. So I think it's really neat. It's just something that, you know, I like to work on the side. So I do have them laid out here. So let me see. Evelyn says my hands are too big for those little pieces. Yeah, Evelyn, and sometimes, you know, they can get a little, you know, tiny, and that's why I put them in these little containers, because I'm like, man, these little tiny pieces can go everywhere. But definitely, you know, they have different sizes. You don't have to get the 1 inch. They do have, you know, larger size ones. Or guys, with your Cricut machine, if you guys have a Cricut machine, you can go onto your Cricut and just go to the shapes. You know, pick whatever shape it is. If you want a hexagon, that's probably like one of the most popular ones that people get for quilting. You can pick the hexagon, the squares, the circles, whatever shape it is that you like. If you want to do the shape of a chicken, you can do that too, right? And then you just cut it out on cardstock with the Cricut machine. And then you can lay out the fabrics and, you know, kind of figure out how you want to work it. If you want the entire thing to be just one color, maybe make it like an applique type thing. Or if you want to go ahead and mix it up and do kind of like a big mixture of different types of fabrics and colors together to make up the one design, you can do that too. But with the Cricut machine, it'll cut the shapes out for you. And you can kind of size it yourself on the machine. So if you don't want it to be this 1 inch, you want to do 2 inches, 3 inches, however big you want it, you can kind of use the Cricut design space to drag and drop the sizes of those, and then you can just have it cut out those pieces for you. You know, so these, I purchased these. These are the 1 inch ones, but I could easily make these on my Cricut as well. But I went ahead and purchased it just to save myself some time. But you can definitely do these. You know, once you have it set, all you have to do is just, when you're going to actually cut it, you would set the machine and just tell it, you know, I want, let's say, 10 copies of this. And so it'll automatically line it up on their mat, and then it'll go ahead and cut them all out. So you can just make a couple of these really quickly on your Cricut if you have that. I have the Cricut Maker that I have here off to the side. I do a lot more things like on cards and other types of projects with my Cricut. And, you know, I like to follow, there's a couple of really good YouTube channels out there. The one that I follow the most is Jennifer Maker. I think she's like the hub of the Cricut Maker. I mean, she's got the most amazing projects out there that you can make. I really love her channel, and I like to watch all kinds of things that she makes with that. And I've participated in a couple of her courses and done a few things over the years with her. So definitely, you know, it's a fun thing you can do if you have a Cricut and not sure how, or you just got it and not sure how to start off with that. You can do that as well. And she's a pretty good teacher on that. Okay, let's see. I see Cricut is expensive, but worth it. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, if you're going to use it, right? Like, there's so many things that you can do, from cards, t-shirts, I mean, all kinds of crafts that you can do. But don't get it and then just have it sit on a shelf. Like, use it. Like, there's so many things that you can do with that thing. And I haven't even tried all of the things that you can do with it, because there's just so many things that you can do. Let's see. Cricut has a fabric mat. Yes, they do, Judy. They have a fabric mat. I have it somewhere around. And I do use it when I was cutting fabric with my Cricut. I think it's a light blue colored mat. They do have the size that I have. I think it's like 12 by 12, but they have the larger mats also. They're you to make those really big ones. But you know, you can cut your fabric to fit the size of the mat that you're using, and then just set the machine to duplicate the copies of whatever design you're making, and it'll cut all of these templates for you. So it'll be super, super easy. Oh. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, that's my sister Boricua Sewing and Crafts. And I think all of you guys are in the Friday night sessions with her. Not sure if a couple of you may not be, but she does host her lives on Fridays at 8 p.m. So definitely something, if you haven't caught her on that, let me know. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot to mention a couple of the holidays that we have today. Not too many today, but I know one, my sister will love this one. It is National Drink Wine Day. So go get your wine. I think you guys would like that one. And then today is also Backyard Bird Count Day. So go to your backyard and count a couple birds. I know I have my little budgie sitting in the living room. So definitely, you know, it's another fun holiday that's out there. So, you know, got my little birdie out there and, you know, I have a lot of fun with her. And you can see how, you know, we've got the little baby version of her there. So Aisha said, I love the Cricut machine. They're a lot of fun. I have the very first Cricut and everyone that came out after that. Wow. My daughter got me hooked on Cricut. Yeah, that's how it all kind of started for me. You know, I got the Cricut and I really loved it. And I just started making shirts. You know, I think a lot of people kind of are in the same boat. You know, we all kind of just started when Cricut came out and people started making shirts and cards and things. And now it's just like amazing, the stuff that you can do. It's just absolutely mind-blowing, the things that they come up with on the Cricut. And, you know, you've got the designs and they've really tried to upgrade Cricut Design Space for you to be able to use all the tools and make your own things, which is what I really love about that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. I may try to do some stuff with Cricut with you guys. Why not? You know, so maybe we'll try to do something a little different with that. Let's see. Robin says, pour me a glass, Jeanette. I know she's got that wine next to her. Where does the line start? Oh, yeah. You guys are so funny. Alrighty, so I know we're a little over on our time, so I'm gonna be sensitive to that for you guys. And it is Saturday. You guys have lots to do. I've got a lot of work to do in my little craft room here. Like I said, we were rearranging stuff, so I found all kinds of stuff everywhere. So I need to like put stuff away, reorganize, re-look at my fabric stash. You guys saw my sister was showing her fabric stash yesterday. Yeah, definitely got you beat there. Not proud about that, but you know, definitely got to relook, and I'm trying to kind of organize my fabrics by colors so that I can find things a little bit more easy. Right now I have all my fabrics on a shelf and on bolts, but they're kind of all over the place. I see Christmas on this side, I see colors over here, spring there. Like, I'm gonna try to, instead of doing it by seasons, just kind of do it by colors and see what I can kind of put together to organize it so I can find things a little easier, because I really want to get into more of the quilting and paper piecing, so it's going to make it a lot easier for me to find the fabrics that are going to work for my projects. So that's something that I'm working on, and I'll hopefully be doing that for the rest of the day today. So let's get that off my plate, right? Let's see, says my fabric stash was a mess. I have to clean it up. Yeah, I think arranging it by color is the best way. I didn't have it that way. I had it all kind of seasons, like of Christmas, fall, things like that. But I think I'm going to change it up and do it by color. It just will make it a little easier. I mean, I don't know if you guys have your fabric stashes, if that's how you arrange it. I'm hoping it just makes it a little visually pleasing to look at. And right now I just look over there and I'm kind of like, I've got a lot of projects to do. I want to make it a little more visually exciting for me to be motivated to get the projects done. Annette says, well, at least you'll always have fabrics. That's true. I mean, you guys saw the fabric stash. I have a little fabric stash just from the dollar store. Like literally a stash from the dollar store. And those, you know, I like to use those for the piecing because you don't need, you know, really expensive fabric to do this paper piecing stuff. You know, you're just chopping it up into little pieces anyway. So I don't want to use any really expensive fabric for that stuff. I kind of like to leave more expensive fabric for like bags and other things that I like to make that, you know, it's kind of use more of it and you can see more of it. So, you know, I think that's going to probably work with me. Let's see. Sassy says, Cricut or Brother Scan and Cut, which is best for embroidery and sewing? Well, the Scan and Cut I don't have. I've seen it. It looks great. But I don't have it, so I won't be able to speak to that one. But I mean, I love my Cricut. I really do. It's really pretty easy to do the fabric cuts on there. I do warn you though, you do have to keep your blades sharpened because they do go dull. And some people start to complain that, you know, the fabrics are not cutting right or the paper's not cutting right. It's the blade. You need to change the blade or clean the blade. And there's all kinds of little tips and tricks that you can do to clean the blades. The most popular one I think I've seen is with the aluminum. Just take some aluminum, put it in a ball, and then just kind of take your blade, pinch the little plunger so that the blade is exposed, and then just kind of punch that into the aluminum. That sharpens up the blade a little bit, and then you kind of stick it back in your machine and you should be good to go. But, you know, I can't really say anything about Brother Scan and Cut, although I have seen it. Looks really good, but I don't have it, so I don't know. One of the exciting things I did see, though, is I noticed there that this isn't long, you know, this is maybe about a couple days ago that it came out in like the fashion world, that they do have a new way of you cutting fabric pieces. So like the traditional way that you would make like dresses and from patterns and things, is that you would go and you would buy like the little packet of the McCalls, and it would have, you know, these little pieces that you would cut out, you know, and so this is like the sleeve, and here is the, you know, another piece for whatever it is that you're making. So those little packets with the patterns in them, and you would buy that and you would line up the pattern and cut your fabric accordingly. Well, what I'm starting to see now is that they have the digital version of that. So I think all these patterns that you see out there may be going away, because now they have a digital version where it's kind of like an overhead, that what it does is you design whatever pattern you want. So let's say you're designing a shirt or a dress or whatever it is, you design it, and then you send it to the projector, and the projector will shine like the light and actually show you the pattern. So you lay out your fabric and you will see the pattern through the projector. You would see the pattern on your fabric, and then you just take your rotary cutter and you cut the pieces that you need, and then you can move forward on making, you know, the dress or the shirt or whatever it is that you're making. So I thought that's really kind of changing the industry now, because a lot of people go to the stores to buy these little patterns, and, you know, some people, you know, they're difficult to read. Like, you have to kind of get into clothing making and learning how to read those patterns and how to make them and sew them together and all that. I'm sure there's like tons of classes and things you can take just on that. But that's something that it's industry changing, because now people are not going to have to go to the stores to pick up these patterns. They can actually design their own clothes and their own things and just send it to the projector for it to reflect on a table where you've laid out the fabric, and you can just cut your pieces. So that's something that's brand new. I saw it in an article not long ago, so it is out there, and I'm sure it's going to be changing the industry on that. But I think that was really neat, that, you know, it's something that will now allow people to be more flexible in designing their own clothes and their own patterns and things like that. So I thought that was really a game changer. So definitely something, you know, if you're into making clothes and designing and things like that, you may want to check that out. It's some type of projector. I'm not sure if it's already available or they were just kind of launching it out and have a date for it. And I'll have to get you the name and all the information. I just kind of browsed through and ran into that article and was just reading about that. And I thought it would be really interesting. So let's see here. The scan and cut is better for embroidery. I have the machine too. Oh, great. I love having, Taisha says, I love having it arranged by color. I can even try to arrange my yarn by color too. Yeah, I kind of just tucked all my yarn in this area now, and I have them, you know, I've got like a cubby thing and it's got like 4 things here, and I've got some of my yarn here, and you know, I've got the Karen cakes down on the bottom because those are more stackable, so it's a little bit easier to do. But I put all that stuff in my ribbons together. Now that I have everything together, now I want to kind of go and organize it by color and just make it a little bit nicer on the eye. So lots to do in the room. You know, we did a couple things, you know, with the lights and things. So we wanted to kind of make the experience a little bit better. So, you know, hoping you guys can follow along, and I hope it looks a little better. I'm not sure, but let's see. Okay. Judy says, I like something in my hands. If I lose it, I know it's around here somewhere. Not all this computer and in the cloud money and stuff. You have no proof if it's in the cloud and goes away. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is, you know, actually making the patterns is materials, and you need raw materials to actually make these items. So at some point, that cost continues to rise. And so they lean more towards these in the cloud things and digitize things, because you don't have to actually make a product, but yet they can still make their money if they sell you the design. So the thing is, get a little smarter. Don't buy their designs. Make your own. You know, you have all of these tools that are out there, like Cricut Design Space, like, you know, if you're doing something in that area, there's so many different areas to dabble with. And you just got to put the time in and play with the software to get yourself used to it. So, you know, for those of you who are old school, kind of like me, you know, I actually like to have, you know, my stuff myself as well. I have a little, what do you call it, little drawer with a bunch of little patterns that I got a while back with my daughter. They were having this sale, so we got, you know, a few of them here. So I like them because I have them organized, and they have them, you know, some of them were kind of Halloween costume things that she wanted to, you know, be. So, you know, we got the pattern for it and things like that. So I have them all set up and organized, whereas if in the cloud, you kind of forget it's there, and, you know, you got to make sure that you organize not just physical things, but all of your digital items. You need to organize them as well, because they could get lost. You know, and things happen, and you can lose files and things like that. So physical items, yeah, I do prefer physical because I know where it is. You know, it's physically there, where if it's, you know, in the cloud, digital on the computer, you know, things happen, and sometimes you can lose your stuff. So it's always important to back up your things as well. So, you know, just something that I enjoy doing. Okay, so I know I am a little over here, and I want to be cognizant of your time. I see you guys are still chatting it up on there. So I hope you guys are really enjoying the lives that I send out every week, and I'll keep trying to produce more things and come up with projects and information for you. And I think that is all I had for you today, but I want to thank you once again for tuning in, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.